Hi, everybody. Welcome to Andrea Speaks Out. My name is Andrea. Today, I want to do something a little different. I have a really big thing coming up this week, and I thought it might be interesting if I just talk about it. Also, my brain is so full that I don't honestly think I can focus on much else for this episode, so this is what we get as a result, an episode about my full brain. So tomorrow, I will be getting on a plane and flying to my hometown of Norwood, Massachusetts. Norwood, as they say at home. I tried to lose that accent a while ago, but the minute I'm around friends and family from home, the R's just start dropping like flies. Anyway, I am flying home because on Wednesday, I will be providing a parent training on protecting children from predators at Norwood High School, the high school that I attended. I still can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe this training is taking place. I don't know if any of you listened to my first episode where I shared little bullet points of my story. But here is the brief reminder. I was abused by a teacher of mine in Norwood. And years later, when I reported my abuse, the principal and the superintendent confronted the teacher. The teacher denied it, and then nothing more was really done. They didn't report my disclosure outside of the school. They dismissed it essentially with one denial from a very popular, well-liked, well-respected teacher he had no disciplinary actions against him. Then, 8 months later, I was contacted by Norwood detectives saying that the teacher was in custody for statutory rape of two 14-year-old girls. The police contacted the superintendent, who then revealed that I had come forward 8 months prior. So obviously there were a few mistakes made back then, right? The story was all in the news, on TV and everything, and it was a mess. And never in a million years would I have believed someone back then if they had told me that one day I would come back and provide a training for the community. I'm so pleased. I'm so proud of this town. And man, I feel like I want the world to see this example of change, of openness and willingness to put their students first. It helps that there are new administrators in place they're not really associated with the old mistakes, But I really think that this is just a great reminder that, I don't know, even if we make mistakes, what's even more important is just showing ourselves and others that we've learned from them and can do the right thing. So what I really wanted to talk about was the process I'm going through prepping for this trip, this training. I've shared my story like countless times. I really don't know how many times I've shared it. It's a lot. And it's interesting because sharing your story over and over really removes the toxic feeling of it all. When I share parts of my story now, I just don't feel them the way I used to. It's probably helpful, huh? I couldn't share it over and over if it brought me to my knees direct that emotion into focusing on helping people learn what's most important. Well, this training is unlike any other I've given. People sitting in that auditorium, they know some of the players. When I show that slide with the picture of my abuser, yeah, some of them worked with him. Some of them had him for a teacher. Some were friends with this guy. Yep, a whole new slew of feelings have bubbled up. So I just want to share some of these feelings and how I'm dealing with them. Honestly, I am not really sure if this is going to be a weird episode or a helpful one. Isn't that funny? I don't know. All I know is this is what I've got today, so this is what I'm sharing. And if it can help some people, that is fantastic. And if this is boring, I hope you tune into the next one. So I've experienced some feelings and emotions that I sort of anticipated. Anxiety has probably been the biggest one. I get these adrenaline rushes just imagining standing in that auditorium, and when they subside, I'm just exhausted. I'm normally a great sleeper. I can sleep anywhere, anytime. But the past couple of weeks, I will fall asleep on the couch, which is fairly typical these days, and then I'll head to bed, and then bing, my thoughts start turning to the training, and my heart just starts racing. I go over the wording in my head, and I wonder if it's the right way to phrase things. And I've been waking up throughout the night with racing thoughts. And I've also found that it's been harder for me to focus. Thoughts of the training keep floating back into my brain at the weirdest times. So those are a few of my feelings I've been dealing with. But I guess I expected those. They just seem normal. I think most people would experience those. But here are a couple that I didn't expect to come up for me. I've had these crazy what-if scenarios pop up in my mind, crazy ones. I will imagine the Q&A section near the end of the training, And I just imagine someone in the audience starts just hurling names at me or being really mean. And you know what feeling has been an undercurrent through all of this? I just figured it out. Lord, I have not felt that in so long, but I had that fear ingrained in me all throughout my abuse and beyond the abuse. And being in Norwood, standing up there and telling my story, I have this old childlike irrational fear that I'm going to be in trouble for telling the truth. Wow. I am 52 years old, and a tiny part of me feels like I'm going to get it. I'm going to get in trouble. How powerful is that? Another thing I have experienced is feeling guarded. Like I should guard some of my story. I can't even really explain this one very well yet. I'm normally just a really open person now. So to feel guarded feels very strange. I'm really trying not to judge any of this, by the way. Not at all. Just I'm paying attention to what comes up for me. I'm honoring it. I'm really listening to it. And I'm just trying to figure it out what it all means. So this is a partial list of my reactions to going home. To bringing my truth for all to see on a whole new level, going home. To bringing my truth for all to see on a whole new level. I know that the healing layer that's going to be added to my journey from this event is going to be fantastic. I know it. And I also know that, how do I say this? I know that every healing layer from the past has had a fair amount of discomfort while it was being added. I think that's how I want to say it. But I think that's how it has to work. You know, you cannot stay comfy and cozy and change and grow. You just can't. I'm old enough now to know that I can endure the discomfort knowing of the rewards of healing on the other end. And I have to say that knowing I can bring the training portions of the event to so many people, this means that a whole lot of kids have a greater chance of being protected, even more than they are today. Oh, this feels great. It's like a mantra for me whenever I feel a bit off, you know? I just keep repeating that over and over, that these kids are going to be more protected. And it helps me through it. And it's about self-care. And I know that that term is thrown around a lot these days, and I'm going to throw it around again here, right now. So this is how I feel about self-care. I've written about this concept a lot in the past, but I want to share it here too. So, you know, when you're on a plane and the flight attendant is saying that if there is a change in cabin pressure, the oxygen masks will drop. It's always mentioned that you should place your mask on yourself first and then place one on your child. And years ago, I used to think that was terrible. Like, how could you deprive your child of oxygen? How could you delay her oxygen for even a second? That is so selfish. That is how I viewed the oxygen and self-care. And then once I started healing more, I realized, oh, okay, wow. If I don't have enough oxygen myself, I am not going to be any good for anyone else. I remember when that realization hit me on that plane. It was a big moment. So anyway, I wanted to share some of the ways I'm managing feelings and emotions through placing my oxygen mask on myself. So I have been meditating a whole lot. I'm not going to talk here about how I started meditating. Maybe another episode I can do that. But I have been practicing meditation now for about a year maybe. And the more I practice, the more it helps me so much. So I've been meditating a lot, even if it's like 2 minutes in my car before I drive somewhere, or 5 minutes in my room, or 45 minutes in the morning. Breathing, like deep, conscious, purposeful breathing, that alone manages my anxiety waves. It manages my intrusive thoughts, my fears, everything. It brings me back to the moment. And I always remember that this moment right now, I'm not in Massachusetts. I'm not in that auditorium in my old high school. I am not back at 14 years old or 16 years old. I am in this moment right now, here in Florida, safe and sound and whole. And it brings me so much peace, even if it's momentary. And I just want to offer that to anyone else to give it a try. Even if you say, I can't meditate. I can't sit still. My brain won't shut down, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I have said every one of those things for about 50 years. And then I just tried it. And I'm telling you, it's worth working through your crazy monkey brain to get to a place where you can breathe. It will help you so much, I promise. Okay. I also decreased some commitments. I didn't try to do everything I normally do. And I had lunch with an awesome friend who just gets me and lets me blah, blah, blah about all the stuff going on in my head. And there was no judgment from her, just acceptance and love. How lucky am I to have friends like this? I hope you all have friends like that. If not, you have to get some because it helps. I've also been stretching more. I've been doing yoga at home. It just helps me feel centered and present. And what's really important, which I don't normally do, I have planned some activities while I'm in Massachusetts. I've been proactive on this. I've planned some activities that will help decrease any unnecessary stress. It's pretty much a given that I'm going to be stressed the night of the presentation, right? And I'm just accepting that. So I'm building in all these buffers to help decrease anything unnecessary, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to take a yoga class. I'll be seeing my wonderful friend Liz, who offers a Reiki and meditation class. I can't wait for that. And I have sadly had to say no to some wonderful folks who want to hang out. I normally try to visit as many people as possible when I go home, but during this trip, I think it's really important to not overextend myself. There will be other trips where I can see everybody, but this trip is very different. So I need to stay balanced. And I have reached out and asked for help from a few people. And what a difference this is for me. I'm proud of this. I never used to do this, but it felt really good. And I think that alone is a sign of health and growth. You know, it also offers a great opportunity for others. They really want to be an active part in your healing world, I think. I know that I love when I can make a difference for somebody else, no matter how small. And I try to think of this as extending that opportunity to others at key times. They can be included in your journey, you know? So ask for help. It's really okay. And finally, I have completed my freaking PowerPoint. Good Lord, I cannot stand doing those things. And it is done. I feel like trumpets should be playing or something. So I feel prepared for the presentation, which is a huge stress reliever. I know what I'm going to say, and that is all I can control, right? I don't know what I will be asked or how people will respond, but I will be coming from a place of truth and a desire to protect children. And I think it's good enough for me. So there you go. Just some of my thoughts I'm sharing with you all. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this. How do you practice self-care? Do you take it seriously? Do you need to try it a little more? How do you place your oxygen mask on yourself first? Just reach out to me at andreaspeaksout.com. I'd love to hear. Okay, a little joke for you guys. You ready? Why did the coffee taste dirty? It was just ground this morning. Thank you, Deb, for that joke. Hey, if you have jokes you want me to tell, email me, please. I clearly need help on my jokes. Yes, let's do that. Oh, I'm so excited. Email me a joke and let me know if I can read your name on here. Does that sound good? AndreaSpeaksOut.com. Just do the contact form and send me a joke. See, I am asking for help. I need it. Yay. Okay, everyone. Thank you as always for listening. Please subscribe and share. Have a great day. Be kind. Speak that truth of yours. Place that oxygen mask on you first and be positive. Take care.